Welcome to Vegas. So my co-founder Jonathan and I, Jonathan's CTO, I'm co-founder CEO of Civic. We're a new platform we've launched about 3 months ago with a big vision really, and that is trying to create a decentralized global digital identity platform. And the first product we launched was just basic identity theft protection for consumers. So free credit bureau monitoring and alerts, getting 24/7 support, and $1 million ID theft insurance for life for all our members. And there's a lot of success with that product. A lot of users are using it and enjoying the alerts they're getting. And today we're going to announce and launch something a little different and adjacent to what our vision is. And I'd like to tell you about it. So when we look at identity, we think that the world we're in today with digital processes, online purchasing, mobile, is just very much not connected to the offline world right now. When it comes to you can't show your driver's license online, you can't use your passport digitally, etc. So there's a whole bunch of digital needs that's not being fulfilled by the current offline processes. And so our goal is to digitize those documents and create a real secure digital ID on your device. And if you think about it, if one company in the world came to you and said, we're going to take everyone's ID information, we're going to digitize it, we're going to store it in one big database, it's probably the worst idea you've ever heard, right? We've seen how many data breaches and hacks happen on a regular basis. And so our goal is actually not to do that. Our goal is to take the information and put it on your device and create the network where the information just flows between devices and endpoints. And so we're creating a decentralized model. We can't get hacked because we're not storing your PII, personally identifiable information. And we'd like to show you a demo of what we think is, it's kind of geeky, but it's the next evolution in where we think digital ID is going. We've used the blockchain for this because we had a couple of goals when designing this product. We needed to make sure that it wasn't proprietary in any way, and we had to make sure that the IDs were issued and validated and verified against were revocable. So if for some reason in the chain we realized that a fake ID or fake driver's license was submitted, we need to be able to revoke the digital version of that, and we need to make sure that we don't store your data. That was one of the critical design elements for our platform. And obviously, as we expand through the globe and you go into other countries, EU privacy laws are pretty rigid, as well as other parts of the world. We just do not want to be in a situation where we can ever be subpoenaed as a company to provide you information. We don't have it. It sits on your device, and therefore we're in compliance with global privacy laws. So we give you control of what is shared with the partners. And today we're going to demo our product with one of our partners, which we're working with right now, called Ride Connect. They're tackling a very interesting problem. As many of you may be aware, in Texas, the traditional ride-sharing services are not quite playing nicely with the rules and the laws in Texas. So they've come up with a pretty much a different model where they're allowing communities to form around ride sharing, but they still need to provide ID verification services. And so they need to know who are these people, taking other people around. And so there is a compliance cost of storing personal data, and in some cases, some companies don't want to hold that data. They just want to verify, for example, that someone has a driver's license, but not store that data on their servers, and at least know when the driver's license expires, because they'd have to have a renewal process for that. But in these cases, this is one way of creating better data hygiene policies within your company by having some sort of verification path, but not having to store data. So we're going to show you a demo today of how we do this. So Jonathan's going to take you through how we use the Civic app. So this is on the presumption that you signed up with Civic, you have a Civic account, your data's stored on your device. And John, take it away.
So you just have a simple sign-in with Civic, and what it does is it takes you straight to the app, to our Civic app. Scan your fingerprint to log in. We'll be introducing things like face recognition and various other biometrics. And it asks you what you want to share. And the important thing is you will be able to control what you share with certain sites as you see fit. And also, this data is not going between Civic in the way that you would, for example, with Facebook Connect. We are never in the middle of this transaction. This is purely between you and the other company. And you simply bypass any requirements for form filling. And the beauty is they're actually getting verified information. They know that somebody has actually verified all this data that they're getting, so they don't need to worry about this being a bot or any other problem. And because they're very community focused, you can go into your community now and you can see who is actually verified by Civic and decide that you want to trust those individuals. So that's an app to app. I mean, that was about as simple as you get for creating a brand new account and getting a fully verified account on a third-party app.
And so while Jonathan's moving to the web-based demo, what's important here is the level of controls you have on your personal information is actually pretty high here. You can go, so a website, and there are probably sites out here and services out here that want consumers to try their service but don't want to hold all the data on a free trial. And so, for example, you don't have to do email verification, emails, and text message verification. That's all been done by Civic. So you could ask for as little as just a unique identifying token, which means that person has a Civic account, and because it's always linked to a social security number, you know that that person can never have more than one Civic account. So you can give them a token, give them an extra 2 weeks free trial, whatever it is, knowing that you can't be abused, in terms of multiple abuse from multiple accounts from the same user. And so you can actually have people signing with very little to no information. So something like, we call it a secure private login, kind of like an anonymous login where someone can just access services, and then later on request their email, request their name, social security number if you want as well. So it's kind of over the period that you're engaging with the customer, get more information that they're willing to give. Or you could start at the other end of the spectrum where it's a banking application and you want all the information up front, and we'll show you that demo right now.
Okay, so effectively, well, standard credit card application that you go through, all you have to do with us is you click that and it'll show you a unique QR code. You just load up the app with the scanner, and again, you can't see it. We'll just flip back to the app. That's what the site is requesting to see. You decide that you want to share it. Again, this is simply between you and the bank.
And then flip back to the screen again.
Flip back to the screen.
Okay.
And the same as with Ride Connect, they're effectively they get this information immediately, all authenticated, and what you're seeing on the right-hand side is it's validating that on the blockchain is a verified identity by Civic. So they know that this has been verified by Civic, it's the correct information, the user who's giving it has to be the owner of that information, and that's the magic that all happens in the background that makes this such a secure
and so because we're using the blockchain, the site can independently verify that information based upon the private key pairs on the device for that user, and not using Civic. So we won't track users. We don't need to track users as they go from site to site and use their information. And it's essentially, because we're an ID protection company, because we're giving insurance to users, because we are verifying all the information up front, we are a trusted source for that user to store their information, and then we don't track them past that point. And so we think is a very interesting use case for the blockchain, because essentially what we're doing is we're replacing OAuth with a new type of technology where it doesn't have a middleman. It doesn't have a third-party website that's tracking when you log in, what you use. A lot of people don't use Facebook Connect on sites because they don't want Facebook to connect to their browsing habits or site habits. And so we think it's a lot more of a hygienic approach to using the web, and more private, and gives the user full control of their ID information. So this is our product today. It's not ready for launch to the public. This is really an industry launch. We're busy signing up partners like Ride Connect right now. And as a company, this is the product roadmap we're on. We've launched the real-time fraud prevention service 2-3 months ago. Now we're doing the ID as a service product. And in the future, we'll be able to release true digital IDs as we've built the product up. Thank you for your time.